There we go. Finally. Goodness gracious. What an absolute what an absolute cluster it was to get this video going here. Thank you guys for joining me here on a Saturday morning. I know it's early. Some of you probably will watch this live. Some of you will probably watch this at a later time. But I'm going to start doing this a little bit more often. And I used to do this on my Instagram page. Going to probably post a few clips here and there on Instagram. Again, you can follow me on all social media platforms at Voice of Reason 23 on Instagram, on Twitter, and on Facebook. And of course, once we figure out how to do YouTube a little bit better, we'll probably have the branding here on YouTube as well. What I'm going to do is, I just thought it'd be kind of fun to do some unboxings. I know everyone's like, oh, you just do it like everybody else does. I'm like, well, I wanted to do something a little bit different, and at the same time as give some credit to some of the people that I buy from when I do my comic books. So I'm going to do a lot more on here. Unboxings, going to probably do some more gaming reviews, probably some tech reviews, and then share them onto the different platforms of social media like Talking Tech, Prep Sports Net, a sports show, all the different platforms. So, with that said, we are going to move into the unboxing of my weekly pull list from Comic Asylum Palm Desert. You can find them on social media by searching out Comic Asylum PD on Instagram, on Twitter, and on Facebook, and give them a like and a positive review. Go check them out. You can check them out in Palm Desert, California, off of San Pablo, and between Fred Waring and Highway 111. So, anyways, with that said, I'm going to change my push notifications here because I was getting a ton of text messages as were coming in. So, with that said, gonna get right into the opening of this box, and then we'll get to Empty Tomb Comics. You can find Empty Tomb Comics on Instagram, and I believe maybe Twitter. And there's a gentleman from Southern California that is selling his comic collection, and also kind of reselling a lot of the new stuff that he gets off the newsstand. So, yeah, so let me do a little housekeeping here. And that is shared. So I hope everybody is having a great Saturday so far. I had a interesting one so far, so yeah, I'll post it on Instagram later. So it's on Facebook. Check it out. So this is not going to be your traditional unboxing where we bust into a box and rip in the paper and go, oh, wow, it's a secret. This is the weekly unboxing of my pull list from Comic Asylum. As you can see right here, Comic Asylum Palm Desert, 760-636-6711. Check out Chick, and of course Mama Comics, that is Lucy. All kinds of other cool displays there. Of course, you got their bag right here. So, with that said, gonna move right along. One of these books, well, I don't think she's going to watch the video anytime soon, so I will put it out there. This book was purchased for my daughter. This is a Paulina. Forgive me for butchering the name. This is a 1 in 10 artist virgin variant. Paulina Gonvachin. I apologize. This is a Rainbow Bright number 2 or number 3 camp, right there from Comic Asylum. That's a Christmas present for my daughter. Let's see. Getting into this week's in comics. This is just the regular cover of Supergirl, the current running series, issue number 25 in the DC universe, the DC comic universe. There it is, beautiful cover there of Kal-El, uh, and it is a just a really well done book in this day and age of the rise of female superheroes, and it's been a fantastic book, and the artwork has been incredible. Some of the best artwork I've seen of Supergirl probably since. I know a lot of Michael Turner fans out there, and I know one of these days I'll probably do a video. I do it every once in a while on my Instagram page and Facebook, where I go kind of some deep cuts and go into my comic collection and kind of do an unboxing there. But I'll probably do some more here on YouTube. So, anyways, latest issue of Supergirl, the anniversary, the 25th issue in the current run. Moving right along, another great issue that promotes a lot of diversity. Some of you may not be a fan of the social justice warrior aspect of Marvel Comics. I'll throw myself under the bus that maybe to an extent I'm not either. But Champions has been a fantastic book. I'm a little behind on my reading. I'm going to buy about 2 or 3 issues behind. But again, the artwork is great. Storytelling is great. It tells some fantastic anecdotes of the current day and age. And here is the cover for Champions number 27. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, according to Marvel and their podcast, that this is of the current run is going to be the final issue. They can pick up in the new year in January of 2019 with a new run of new writers and artists telling a new story. I don't know if it's going to be a complete reboot to the point where it's going to be a number 1. I think it's just going to pick up the same number scheme. For those of you keeping track at home, for Marvel, there is no legacy numbers on Champions. Marvel Champions has been around for a while, but in different incarnations. So there's no legacy number on this, so not sure what they're going to do. I think they're going to continue doing the same number scheme, so it'll be issue number 28, but just with new writers and a new artist crew. So, but really great. For those of you who don't know who the Champions are, it is Viv Vision, Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan. It is Miles Morales, Spider-Man, which I believe with his new single run book that just started this past week. That I don't know. Spoiler alert: there's a possibility that Miles Morales is probably out of the Champions. You have Nova. You have oh my goodness, why am I drawing a blank? Amadeus Cho, and I can not remember this. Like I said, I'm about 3 weeks behind on my reading, but excellent book. Here's another cool one. Again, kind of reimagining a existing storyline, and that is Hit Girl. This is issue number 11 of the current run from Image Comics. A really cool cover there. Very almost kind of like Walking Dead-esque cover, and little storyline going to a subtext storyline, Rome Part 3 of 4. But I'm a little behind on my Hit Girl reading, but this has been a really unique take on the Hit Girl series. Of course, made famous with the movie that came out a few years ago in Kick-Ass 1 and 2. But of course, Kick-Ass we'll talk about at another time. They have their own run reimagined with a female Kick-Ass. Hit Girl, I believe, is still the same female character, just she's a bit older than in previous collections, and it's just a different world. So great book. Like I said, I'm a little behind on it, but anyways, say what you want. This book is not for me. This is another book from my daughter, and the artwork is a lot of fun. They really do a fantastic job, especially on the covers. And I've met the cover artist many times. His name is Tony Fleeks, and This is cover A, issue number 3 of My Little Pony Nightmare. The cover is covered up, but anyways, this is the current issue of My Little Pony. Tony Flink's cover. There's his signature right there, and just a really, really nice guy. Um, I've met him twice. I met him. No, I met him at San Diego in passing. It was really kind of weird. I met him at FantasiaCon in Indio here back in May. I hosted a panel, a writers panel, and which, by the way, I'm still working on this with the future Comic Cons, but I'm going to talk with FantasiaCon, with Comic Con Palm Springs, with if I do work with the guys at Palm Springs Comic Con, if I do any panels at any other comic convention this year, I'm going to talk about them about streaming my panels at least on YouTube. With that said, speaking of Tony Fleeks, I have to tell this story. So I met Tony at FantasiaCon Indio back in May. It was Mother's Day weekend. And I met him a second time, literally a week later, at Comic Con Revolution in Ontario. And then I ran into him in San Diego during SDCC, and he recognized me. I was like, we're walking through, like, hey, Kevin, what's going on? I'm like, oh my gosh, dude, world-renowned artist Anthony Fleeks recognized me. Pardon me. And I walk up to Tony with my son at Indio, at Fantasia, and we're talking about characters and whatnot, and he sees I've got a Gwenpool shirt on. And he goes, big fan of Gwenpool? Oh, absolutely love the character. I think it's fantastic. It's, it's kind of neat, the current, kind of like the unique fourth wall breaking of Gwenpool, similar to that of Deadpool early on in the runs that he had back in the 90s, of breaking down the fourth wall and really kind of just being like his own spoiler. I said I just really, really thought it was unique about what Gwenpool was all about. And he goes, doing a cover for her. I go, at this point, literally Gwenpool's single run had just ended. And I said, well, her series just run. And she goes, no, she's joining a team. And there was some rumors that she was going to possibly join the Avengers. And I was like, well, how can you have a character that's really not a superhero? She's literally just a mercenary, and not really a good mercenary at that, join the Avengers. So he goes, yeah, I'm doing a cover for a current issue. It's going to be a variant. And I go, well, can I see it? He goes, I can't show you. Marvel has a what do they call me? A non-disclosure agreement. Can't show you. Okay, I get that. I understand that. Week goes by. In that week, it's announced that Gwenpool's coming out in West Coast Avengers. They're gonna reboot it. West Coast Avengers was going to come out in August. It did. It's a pretty good book. It's not like blowing things away, but it's a good book. So I meet him at Comic Con Revolution. I introduce him to my family, and I go, hey, I heard the news about West Coast Avengers, and he goes, oh, you finally heard about that? He's like, well, since the cat's out of the bag, I guess I can show you this. And so he busts out his phone, scrolls through his pictures, takes a picture, or shows me a picture of a variant that he was working on. And it was for West Coast Avengers #2, and it was a play on old pop, kind of old pulp movie posters, kind of a noir look. And very much like his work he did for Jessica Jones and Unstoppable Wasp. I think I've posted some pictures on Instagram of those. But very, like I said, kind of pulp looking covers in that kind of old 20s, 30s, 40s style of kind of movie advertisements and whatnot. So He showed me the cover, and I was super excited about it. And I thought it was just gonna be a regular variant, but apparently it ended up being I think it was a 1 in 50 variant. And my local shop only got one copy, and someone beat me to it. It was a cover I was waiting for um, all summer long, and I didn't get it. I was to say it. I was upset would be an understatement, but thankfully, the owner of the shop, Chicks, absolutely adore her, is a huge Gwenpool fan as well. A big fan of Tony Fleeks. By the way, Tony Fleeks did some commissions for me. He commissioned covers of converting Gwen. He did a Gwenpool sketch for me, which was fabulous. And then he did 2 covers for me of Gwenpool as a My Little Pony. So I thought it was fantastic. But anyways, with that said, I did get my hands on a West Coast Avengers #2 variant cover, and it's right here. This is a legacy cover at the time of West Coast Avengers number 104. This is a Tony Fleeks variant, and it is absolutely gorgeous. There is, of course, the aforementioned Gwenpool, America Chavez, Kate Bishop. You got Clint Barton. Fantastic cover. Oh, by the way, yes, it is autographed. So, anyways, absolutely love this book. It is written by Kelly Thompson, and again, the cover is done by one Anthony Fleeks of My Little Pony Queen. One last book before I get into the package here from Empty Tomb Comics, which I'm really excited to open because it's all Scotty Young books. This is Batman Damned #2 from the DC Black Label run, and is a very creepy looking Harley Quinn cover. Of course, Batman Damned is kind of their version of Marvel Knights, very R-rated run of books. It's, of course, done magazine style. If issue #1 infamously showed the Batwing, is that you want to call it? Showed Bruce Wayne, Batman, what do you want to call him? Private area. So, I can't curse on here. I want to keep it kind of clean. So, anyways, with that said, let's get to a true unboxing. We have here handle. Please don't, what does it say? Please don't crush. Handle with care. That's a great job there by Empty Tunes. Again, you can follow them on Instagram at Empty Tunes. I think it's empty_tunes_comics. I'll get the link on the page here. And got my trusty cold steel knife here. Got to be really careful about where I cut with comics. I got super lucky. About a year ago, I bought some comics off eBay. Now, I still contend that it was not me, because I'm usually super careful about cutting into boxes. But I was using my steel knife, and I busted into some comics, only to reveal that a perfectly sliced tear in the bag and board, and thankfully none of the books were damaged, but I got with the seller, and we couldn't determine if it was. It could have very easily been me, but like I said, I'm usually really careful about how I tear into my comics, and especially with a knife. And we could determine if it was the seller, if it was me, or if it was someone at the postal office, because the package had been kind of messed with. But I remember I emailed the the seller, and we kind of came to an agreement on some stuff. So, anyways, with that said, oh, so gorgeous. I love Scotty Young's work. With that said, let's get into this first and foremost. So funny. This is from Midtown, but not this one. The first book these are all mostly Scotty Young variants. It is issue number 1 of Black Widow, which was a great run back. I think it was 2015, 2016. Scotty Young variant, really cool artwork there. If you're not a fan of Scotty Young, what is wrong with you? He does a great job on these covers. Speaking of Champions again, this is from early on in the run. This is actually number 1. Got a little spine, or got a little corner damage here, which is understandable because this is about a 1.5 year old book. Maybe a little faded on the colors. They're calling this near mint, but of course it's and it's still sealed. Oh no, it's been retaped. Doesn't matter. I mean, I paid fair market value on this book, but like I said, a little bit of corner damage there, and but nonetheless, Champions number 1 done by Scotty Young. Again, there is Amadeus Cho Hulk, Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, Miles Morales, Nova, Cyclops, and Vision, who is the daughter of Vision. Then we have the Defenders number 1. This is from about a year or so ago. This is from 2017, Scotty Young variant. Of course, we've got Matt Murdock, Daredevil. We've got Danny Rand, Iron Fist, and of course Luke Cage and Jessica Simpson. Jessica Jones. I was talking with some friends last night about Jessica Simpson. Sorry, my bad. So I just think it's funny. I love the little word balloon by Jessica Jones. I thought I had this book. I still contend that I might possibly have this book, but it's always good sometimes to have duplicates. This is a Scotty Young variant of X-23 number 1. This is from earlier this year. Obviously, Laura has had a very popular couple of years with, of course, her debut in the cinematic universe with Logan in 2017. I'll save those two for a moment here. We've got the all-new Ghost Rider. This is from 2014 during the Marvel Now campaign. This is the first appearance of one. This is all new, all different. No, all new Ghost Rider. This is from 2014. So this is the original run. This is a Scotty Young variant of the first appearance of the. Oh my gosh. Completely drew a blank on the new Ghost Rider's name, but nonetheless, there it is. Beautiful cover. Pristine condition. Maybe a little flake there on the corner. You can see there, if you're going to nitpick, maybe a little bit there on that corner. The spine, some soft wear and tear. But this is in a really nice bag and board. Great job. Empty Tombs, great job. Save this one for next. Scotty Young, 2016 Invincible Iron Man number 1. This is the... oh my goodness. Riri Williams cover. Scotty Young. Kind of cool cover there. Really enjoy that character. This is from the Infinity Gauntlet in Secret Wars from 2015. Scotty Young doing a cover swipe of a old Infinity Gauntlet book. No one, I think, can, outside of the original artist, can truly summon the menacing personality that is Thanos than one Scotty Young. Beautiful cover, one of my favorites. This one, no doubt in my mind, will get autographed somehow, some way in the very near future. I've wanted this cover probably since the first time I laid eyes on it, and it's been incredibly difficult to get. Now, this one is this is a I became a fan of this work probably. Let me open this because I got to scan this real quick. And by the way, CLZ Comics, great app that you should use. Highly recommend it. Again, kind of what it looks like. Oh, whoops. Do the autofocus here. Oh, it's not going to work. Anyways, CLZ Comics. I don't know if it'll focus. Yeah, the front-facing camera doesn't focus very well. You could look them up on iOS or Android. CLZ Comics. They're not paid or anything, but nonetheless, let me just do a quick scan of this. I want to get some information off this book. This is the main variant. This is this is from Emerald City Comic Con 2018. So this came out in February of this year. This is cover B. Actually, technically, this is issue number 249, RE/B edition. It is a Natalie Saunders Comic Market Street Emerald City Comic Con 2018 con exclusive. No, it's like a million words to say. This is G.I. Joe issue number 249. Retailer, that's what it is. Retailer's copy. First off, here is the main variant cover. Absolutely gorgeous there. Natalie Saunders does phenomenal work. She takes in my opinion, the incredible work that J. Scott Campbell does to accentuate the female figure. And you can say whatever you want about that. I think Scott is a great artist, and I think he does a great job. I think guys like Art Germ do a great job with the female form. And not just the female form, the male form as well. But Natalie Saunders takes it to a whole new level. I mean, she is incredible. And I'm going to add those two books to my collection here so I don't have to scan them again. So we've got this one. So there's a countdown to 250, Dawn of the Arashikaj, Part 4. Again, issue number 249 of G.I. Joe. Natalie Saunders. This is the Emerald City Comic Con variant. Fantastic. Now, what would be a variant without its virgin counterpart or its virgin version? And that's exactly what I have. Got an absolutely smoking deal, even to the point where I told one of my friends about it, and they were actually trying to undercut me. The virgin cover of the same book. Get to see all the artwork without all the headlines and stuff like that. Natalie Saunders, absolutely fantastic. I will post the pictures of all these books on my Instagram page at Voice of Reason 23. Thanks, guys, so much for being a part of this. For those of you who joined us live, thank you. For those who will watch later, please comment and let us know what you liked, what you didn't like, what I need to work on. You can also message me on Facebook. Again, facebook.com/Voice of Reason 23. at Voice of Reason 23 on Twitter, Voice of Reason 23 on, again, that's the number 2 and the number 3. So Voice of Reason 23 on Instagram as well. I'm on there quite a bit. Message me on there. Again, on the YouTube channel, like and subscribe us. Subscribe. Hit the little alert button when we do more live videos. There's going to be all kinds of stuff. Video games, sports, comic books. Going to work on trying to divvy up the channels based on different, whatever it's called, content genres, but nonetheless. Thank you guys so much. Have a great Saturday. And again, please leave comments below, and I'll work on whatever it is you think I need to work on. Thanks, guys.